The Tape Never Lies Network. Starts now.
The Tape Never Lies Network.
Yeah, you look at the tape. So as a coach, your resume is the tape.
Loses the football. Strip sack and
Bears our live.
Give me some fucking
Bears our live. We go online right after Bears games with your boys trapped up in the smartest man alive. Bears our live.
Son of a bitch, you better block.
Bears our live. We go online right after Bears games with your boys Trap Talk and the smartest man alive. Ran up with the true analysis you expect. Raw passion for the show. Bear fans get nothing less. Locked in with real emotion and passion for every play. Coach Phil delivering that rain. In with facts my shame. Post game show like nothing else you're gonna hear. Some can try to copy, but our bucket's not sincere. Delivering the truth of what just happened, to be clear. That's why we're on TV, so you can see it, not just hear. Hey, yo, with Draft Dr. Phil, you know it's always hit sticks. True to fundamentals, never gimmicks and tricks. Guess we're moving Soldier Field up to Arlington Heights. Mill out counting bucks while the mayor big fight. As our life keeps growing, Shane's all knowing. Delivering the truth on how the QB's throwing. Dimes on time, just lacking fundamental. Whatever the case, we get hot like Cecil. Fiery discussion on what happened in the game. This ain't your daddy's postgame show, expect the fucking flame. Not for the average fan, a loss they can't survive.
but don't you worry.
Bears Hour Live.
Bears our life. Bears our life. We go
Let him sit his ass there again. I don't think we're that much worse.
The myth, the red legend, Dr. Phil Otoshun.
This is
football, baby. Culture is the problem. Let's get on little things.
Bears our life. Bears our
Son of a bitch, you better block.
life.
That's what happens. That's when we have a real
Right
good team.
after Bears
And let's
games
get it
with
on.
your boys Draft Talk and the smartest.
Give me some fucking names.
This is Bears Hour Live.
Hey, we're back. The Bears lost again. And look who showed up tonight. What's up, EJ? We knew you'd be back. I saw your post on Twitter. Still waiting for your DM back to me, though, about your Patreon account. It's all good, though, brother. Bears lose 30-12 in Minnesota. EJ wants Caleb held accountable. He's mad about his boy being gone, Pittsburgh. Let's get into it, though. I'm going to bring DDP out here so he can address EJ, maybe. Who knows? It's probably what EJ wants. But let's get into it. Phil, get out here. Take it away. It's all Caleb's fault all the time, Phil, clearly. EJ knows what he's talking about.
Shane, I've been around football my whole life, and Bears fans would say about 40% of you are pathetic. And only because you want a phoenix to rise from the flames of this destructive, completely chaotic. It's not even in the vicinity of recognizing any kind of foundation of football, of culture, of anything. I honestly find it hysterical that anybody would be getting after your quarterback in the amount of chaos that he's dealing with. And I would argue not one other rookie quarterback is dealing with that. In fact, if he was less of a prospect, if he wasn't as good as he is, you would see the multiple interceptions. But the kid is that good. And I'm just looking at it truthfully. This is about getting the Chicago Bears correct. The shit rolls downhill, EJ. That's the problem. Your boy Justin, who's a backup in Pittsburgh, who couldn't throw and couldn't get us out of situations and do the things that you're seeing this kid do, has never had to deal with what it is firing coaches, OCs. He's already on his second OC, but his third OC, and it hasn't even been 6 months. The reality of what you're addressing and undressing a young kid, and I don't know if it's just me, but I see one or four guys. We'll give 4 guys that are giving everything they have. And when I say the shit starts up top, McCaskey is a huge issue. The meddler. He is a villain in the DC Comics version of the NFL. Pathetically meddling in this situation. There's nobody that can go anywhere without the reality of what transpired. Shane and Phil, you fire Eberflus last year. They didn't do it. They kept a lame duck, shitty head coach who was an easy yes man, who's getting paid and smoking cigars on a beach, right? The McCaskey's all involved in that. Who's calling the shots? Nobody can step up. We got a principal next to his son addressing the firing, completely neutering the GM, and the GM that's softer than puppy shit, like everything he drafts on the offensive line. So we're looking at a season that's lost with an interim head coach, with players quitting, without a doubt, an epic, tragic failure. Watching it, and I counted 5 drops from Keenan Allen tonight. 5. 3 from Adunze. And we have fans that are pathetically waiting for Phil and Shane to hold Caleb account. Was Caleb perfect? No. I want you to fucking be realistic and fair and ask yourself, what NFL coach or game plan has a rookie left tackle be isolated on 3rd and 15 by himself against their $20 million pass rusher? What? You have to be maniacal, I said. You have to be situationally assured. And you don't get that. Are these same fucking clown boys like EJ and so on, Sean Sierra, all of these guys, are they also holding Cole Kmet accountable? Are they holding the center accountable? Are they holding the play caller accountable? Are they holding the catching receiver accountable? DJ Moore, is he showing ever? It's a cultural thing. It's like putting a kid in foster care with an abusive parent and expecting that kid to be successful. Just stop. It's pathetic. That's why I'm watching a guy overcome shit. Troy Aikman was negligent tonight. He had an agenda. I'm stealing from Ryan Cox, and I'll say the same thing. I was the guy calling Josh Allen the number 1 quarterback that year, and everyone pointing fingers at me. Shane can attest, including Greg Gabriel. And I'm nuts. Look where that guy has ascended. It's an ascension of the game. This is a rookie fucking quarterback in a culture that is pathetic. But you want him to be something that's completely, he's generational. He should be overcoming this. This coming from a fucking broadcaster who went, what? Shane, 1 win his rookie year? And Troy Aikman, there's no understanding culturally. You're praising. What do you have, the same agent as fucking Eberflus and Trace Armstrong? Troy? Praising Ryan Poles? You fucking kidding me? Are you kidding me? The McCaskeys, Poles, Poles has to go. Gotta go. Do you fucking see it? Do you see it? Stop. He'll give you the fucking link, EJ. You can come on. It's embarrassing. I don't have an agenda. I have the tape to show me this.
Put it in the
Third
chat.
and 7. Keenan Allen is supposed to come across into the hole. Got a DN jumping in your face, and he throws it into the window. Yet Troy said, oh, he's wide on that throw. No. Keenan stopped. Didn't read it right. Don't give a fuck how many Pro Bowls you have. I've seen many a Hall of Fame receiver run the wrong fucking route with their quarterback. But we're going to have an agenda. We're going to play a fucking game. I use names. Sean, Sierra. I'm not afraid. You're a clown. You have an agenda. You're rooting against a kid that's clearly better. It doesn't take a rocket scientist. Alien drones could come down. Alien drones could come down, and they can fucking assess, like, wow, that's a quarterback. Can we protect him? No. Do we have the line? No. Do we have the play caller? No. Do we have a running back? No. Our best running back is number 2, who's a receiver. Our third down back? Exactly, you don't. Thank you. All talk. All talk. We have a fucking running back that doesn't hit the hole, doesn't see it. It's fucking disgraceful. You got a tight end that has taken 2 steps forward to go 6 back. He's on the ground more than a porn star in Cole Kmet. Then you got a tight end that's 40 years old. His profession is coming in and blocking, setting the tone. He plays like EJ on the chat. Get a better effort from you. It's fucking pathetic what you're seeing out there. But this is what happened. That's why I have to be careful with Thomas Brown. Unfortunately, he's been the passing game coordinator, not talking to Caleb for months, to the OC improving because Poles and Eberflus and company hired a yes man pussy as an OC. Oh, we got to fire that guy. We got to replace him. Now, Thomas comes in, and you pathetically don't fire Eberflus. You put everything on the plate of Thomas Brown, and he can't handle it. It's very easy to see, but because everything's pouring over the pot, the pasta's boiled over. It's pathetic. And it's unfortunate because Thomas is going to be the one suffering for this shit. And a lot of his play calls, I hate gun. We're on the road. We're in gun. We got a rookie out there. Gun. They can't hear the K. Get under set. Nope. Let's run toss 2. Amagaji's side on 4th down. Let's run it up. Let's run it again at Amagaji. It's all over the place. So if you want this young kid, Caleb Williams, to overcome this all, just look in the fucking mirror and ask yourself if rookie Justin Fields could overcome this shit show. And I will tell you, without a shadow of doubt, he couldn't. He couldn't. Because he's not in the same vernacular, not in the same area code, not in the same energy as Caleb Williams at quarterback. It's just sad that you want to manipulate truths. I'll give you the opportunity. I've called Chris Morgan a piece of trash, showing you the tape why for 4 years. 3 years, whatever he fucking got here. My father came on. We showed you fundamentally. Tonight, I'm texting with a former Bear offensive lineman. Both of us don't understand the schemes, how the tackle's set. It's not taught correctly. But Darnell, let's let him go right under you. That's on Caleb. Fuck it. It's all on Caleb, guys. He's got to overcome it all. I ask you to put yourself in that situation. and recognize the 5 drops. There's technically 11 drops by his receivers tonight. 11. Now, Caleb, as we've messaged and said, is going to be a rookie having to grow and have his mistakes. But if you're under fucking 70 tons of shit, you're gonna get shit on you. It's just the reality. You can't overcome this. It's just reality. And if you're gonna be upset at Caleb taking a sack, I'll say this till I'm blue in the face. I don't agree with anybody. What wins games? Catching and dropping the football, right? I've taught you this. I teach every person I coach, whether it be personally or with a team. Catching and dropping. The difference between winning and losing is catching and dropping the football. Goes for both sides of the ball. So the worst thing a quarterback can do isn't take a sack. It's to throw a turnover. It's to throw an interception. That is the worst thing a quarterback can do. Here's a kid dealing with the stress and duress of a piss-poor coaching staff, piss-poor offensive line talent, terrible blocking scheme and communication, and guys that are dropping the football that might have quit on the season. The culture has been in question since the beginning of the season, and now all of this stuff is coming out about how Matt Eberflus was a cornball. No one listened to him. But at the same time, they told you, despite us, that he didn't have the locker room, that players weren't responding, that effort was showing up on tape or lack thereof each and every fucking series, not games. This was series. I don't play this bullshit flip-flop minutia. I have guys like played in the NFL, coached in the NFL, coaching college. You got Big Steve right now in the chat. Probably got Zorich over here listening in the chat. You probably have Jerry Azuma and fucking Adrian Amos in the chat, probably watching all of it. Why? We're keeping it 100. We're keeping it 100. Players have to rise up because you're feeding the little shit boy meatballers. You're feeding the mutters that have never fucking played in the NFL, that don't want to be in the NFL, that are analysts, that are using algorithms and statistical rationales for their reasoning. All of that shit, the analytics of this say no. What does your eyes say? What does your heart say of football? Don't feed the meatballs. Gotta combat it. So you combat it with truth. You can talk all you want. If I give you an opportunity to come on, you could clear up your truth. Shane gave you that. I gave you that. It's pathetic that you see this kind of let's drag down to be right. It's pathetic. It's not what I'm doing. I would never do that. Just don't do it. I look at it truthfully. It's stressful watching this because I know it's easy to write a narrative when someone's getting buried. It's hard to see the truth. That's why this network is what it is. And despite the little haters and the subject matters that they come up with, everybody's still here, including Barlissimo. Your name is in my mouth at any time I want because I'm going to hold people accountable for manipulating truths. And so is Shane. That's what we do here at TTNL. You think we want this bad shit? You think we want to watch this shit? You think Shane and I want to get up at 6 a.m. after watching this shit? No. The reality is I see people being completely tough, puffy-chested, talking shit with a keyboard. But I sit here in front of the camera with my name to it, people steal left and right from me and Shane, talk about it on their radio shows, their podcasts everywhere, and we just keep showing back up. I don't want to be here right now. I want to be asleep with my beautiful wife. But instead, I'm here watching a Chicago Bears organization run by a lady who could give a fuck, and her sons. A board that's so corporate and understands nothing that they continue to hire people that are going to say what they want to hear instead of the right reasons that they don't want to hear. So the ball keeps spinning, the snowball keeps going, and you keep hiring yes men, the wrong coaches, and all of the shoe salesmen you possibly can, instead of real football people that are going to address the leaks that are in your fucking cellar. And unfortunately, a lot of rich snobs, they don't want to go down and get dirty. They don't want to hear the truth. They just want to fix it. So let's hire Ernie Accorsi and Bill Polian and let them help us fix it. Because they'll do it. And they put their trust in the wrong people. So when people ask, well, who would you do? I said I'd hire Olin Kreutz as the president. Because he would address everybody for what they were at the door. And the owner comes out and says, take Olin with a grain of salt. When Olin was sitting there telling the truth. You remember? Because I do. And everything I remember is accountability, toughness, togetherness, a brotherhood. That locker room is the complete, utter opposite of everything I said. When you allow someone like Trace Armstrong to run every course of where you've manufacturing football decisions, you're getting a complete, utter shit show of soft. And until that fucking changes, you're going to continue to go soft. And I'll say this one last thing at my rant, Shane. There should be no idea of bright light in a dark fucking cave that I have to find the right offensive coach. If that's the Chicago Bears, what they're doing right now, then they're as dumb as they've ever been dumb, and we'll be back here in 4 more years talking about the same shit. You hire the right head coach. You hire the right head coach because your culture stinks, your president stinks, your GM stinks, and worse beyond all, even worse than the little troll boy, is George McCaskey. He stinks. So in order to fight that stench, you're going to have to get a good head coach, whether he's on defense or offense is his specialty. Doesn't matter. The guy at the front of the room has to demand accountability and respect. Anybody can do X's and O's. There's about 50 fucking high school head coaches in Illinois that I would trust as offensive coordinator over fucking Shane Waldron. And that, I'm not exaggerating. You got to get the right head coach in here. And once you do that, everything else will fall into place. And right now, with Bill Belichick off the fucking board and Jim Harbaugh in San Diego, right now, who rises to the top? Who rises? That's what you got to know and ask yourself. Other than that, you're sitting here doing the same bullshit, hiring these shoe salesmen because you think you need an offensive guy, but he can't lead a locker room, a.k.a. Matt Nagy, a.k.a. Mark Trestman. Find the right guy. That is my rant, Shane.
No, man, you're not wrong, Phil. And like I said, the troll bullshit gets lame. EJ's been a guy that's been around for years with us. I actually like the guy. I get it.
I love that dude.
I don't know if I love him. I've never met him, but I'm just saying he's a good dude. I think what it comes right down to it is EJ's frustrated like we are, but I don't want to. Where I am going to call EJ out is for him saying that it's the same old bullshit when I can go and look at EJ's Twitter and 95% of it is him trolling every other team all the time. So it's no different. And if you want to say that we don't hold Caleb Williams accountable, then you're just not watching it. We've talked about it almost every show. We literally broke down the Notre Dame game, the worst game that he played as a collegiate. We did all of that. We've talked about it. But people, you want to bring Justin Fields into this. I could give two shits. Justin's probably a great guy. Go get the 51% of snaps. That is my concern. I don't give a shit about any of that. But to hold Caleb Williams as a rookie to where you're holding Justin Fields, it's in year 4, going to be into year 5 and on his 3rd football team is hilarious to me. If you're in here now, every time that Caleb has a rough game, running your mouth, and I'm not just saying you, EJ, there's lots of people in the chat. Your mind is made up. You're outing yourself. It's fine. Guess what? I'm going to be here next season. EJ's going to be here next season. Phil's going to be here next season. And guess what? So is Caleb Williams, our quarterback. Hopefully, Ryan Poles is not here next season. Hopefully, Kevin Warren realizes what he should do. But here is interim head coach for the time being, Thomas Brown.
Got no volume.
You can't hear it?
No.
It's turned up on my end.
I can't hear it on my end. Can you all hear it in the chat? They cut the sound off.
Huh. Let me
see if I can grab it on my end. Maybe.
Here. I just reset it. You got it now?
Yesterday, and then
yep.
Got it. Okay. I reset it.
Yeah, man. I just saw he reported symptoms on Sunday morning, and so obviously got ruled out from there.
The decision to play, you could have played a veteran or a rookie. Why go with?
Well, I have confidence in his ability. I think being able to have an opportunity to work him in that spot, he kind of been rotating the last few days and weeks also behind Braxton. So it's more about just the spot play on the left side.
Why was the passing game so limited as far as downfield in the first half?
Well, throw the ball down if you got to protect. So that obviously affects some stuff that you do. I think being able to also understand what this defense does as far as disguising and pressuring. Like Brissom's in the first game, you can't make a living trying to chuck the ball down the field when they create so many turnovers. And even on the third down where we had a strip sack, it was a 3rd and 8, tried to hold the ball a little bit longer. And so those kind of deter you from wanting to take shots down the field.
With Kramer with the reporting issue,
fucking left tackle got beat like a drum on that.
When he reports in the game, his back is turned to me, so I can't always tell if he does or he doesn't.
Fourth step, he's getting fucking
there was some indecision. I could have just called a timeout, save it, and got back in the huddle. So
I don't understand the use of timeouts at the end. Why he used them early like that?
Just got beat.
Thomas, Jalen didn't have a captaincy patch. Is he still a captain?
Nope.
Jalen? Of course he is. Yep. So captain. Yep. I didn't even see it, so I can't speak on that. But he's definitely a captain. He's in every captain.
Maybe George took it away from him when you weren't looking.
I actually did a really good job on, I guess, Saturday.
Swearing at Eberflus like that.
We kind of broke it down, so let him kind of get in the middle and did a great job of
Thomas.
delivering a Tommy
if
message.
you know that he ain't the captain or you did something, you gotta be authentic there.
What's your frustration level with the 4th downs that didn't convert?
I'm frustrated with all of it. I think just trying to find ways to put us in better spots.
How about no run toss behind a rookie left tackle
we're
in
not
that situation? I don't know.
Move the ball and score.
Find a bigger back. And how about have a fullback so you don't have to fucking deal with that bullshit?
How do you get them across the finish line?
It's just over and over.
I disagree with you. I think if you watch the tape, our guys battled into the very end. So I think
they don't battle, coach.
In the tank.
Go watch your corners on 3rd and 15.
I didn't see that at all.
Don't rally.
So I think our guys will continue to battle like they've been battling. I'm going to continue to fight for them.
How many drops did you have tonight, coach?
We'll go back to work.
back-to-back really lopsided losses. That's why I make that judgment. You disagree that you guys still have the ability to compete with these teams?
Again, I would challenge you to go turn the tape on to see who didn't play hard or didn't finish. I think it's more about me putting us in better spots on offense to execute and stay on the grass better, and obviously the defense continue to make strides.
You guys went into the locker room at halftime scoreless for the third time in 3 games.
Yep.
I know if you could put your finger on it, you'd fix it. But
1,000%.
But do you have a sense of what's contributing to all that?
The sense I got to be better. So put us in better spots, make better plays. That's the sense I have.
There was just some throws that Caleb makes where it feels like he's got a one-on-one opportunity and that they're misfired by 4 or 5 feet. How do you get him in a mindset of?
I would try to run this team, Auburn. They would never allow me to be a part of that because I'm the opposite of them.
Answer to that.
So corporate, Auburn.
Be different between the rush, the coverage that he's facing as well, but just trying to find ways to.
And that's
to find
the point
to
here.
exploit, but also protect the QB.
Aikman is setting up an offensive. You heard him like talking up polls.
For some of our guys.
Shane, Aikman's talking up the organization now. He's giving out possible candidates to be coached while the game is going on. It's pathetic.
Oh, he did? Or what?
Anyone defending Troy Aikman's performance tonight, broadcasting, is worse than pathetic.
I think
it was atrocious.
Happens before and after the snap.
Misleading, clearly had an agenda.
If it was in question, I could have just called a timeout to save it and get us back in the huddle and have the same play call. So
I'll tell you this, Emery, if your team quits after a tough loss, they were never fucking tough to begin with.
Can't see the defender coming. So
that's problem number one.
Have eyes in the back of his head. I think obviously being on the road, the noise does have an effect when it comes to guys getting off on a snap versus us not. But let's just be better in that situation. Also, I can do a better job of calling better play with the ball and come out faster versus holding on to it. That'll help out too.
The challenge of getting Karan ready for his career start on the road. Not a lot of.
I do get stressed. So does Shane.
He's been prepping the entire time.
When you care, you get stressed. When you don't care, you care to tear people down. You say shit like EJ is here.
Had to make some adjustments later in the
Don't
game.
play innocent, EJ.
Some notes about
show me where I manipulate truth 24/7. My whole life's a lie.
Player for us right now, so
I deflect and blame everyone else. Okay, I call out everybody else. There's nothing that Thomas Brown is going to tell us tonight. I'm going to have a coming to God moment tonight. I am not afraid to go toe-to-toe with any fucking buddy. Let's go to the tape. You want to bring up the fucking tape? Let's go to the tape. We'll show you.
We did.
I have watched the game, and I will say, oh, shit, I had this messed up. The center should have done it. Oh, that, me and Ivan were going back and forth on the first Minnesota game about DJ Moore dropping that ball. I watched the tape. Fucking 100% on DJ Moore.
EJ, that's because you want. That's what you want. You don't agree with it. Are you watching you're not a patron anymore, right, EJ? You just said that and you have no interest. We hold everybody accountable. We also realize that he is a rookie and there's going to be peaks and valleys and bumps in the road. I just can't understand where people are saying anybody saying that we don't hold Caleb Williams accountable. I could show you text messages on the phone from the game tonight where we were pissed off with missed throws. We talk about it, but it's not to the level that EJ wants. So EJ knows that's
paint a different brush. If EJ was our quarterback, I would handle him exactly how I handle Caleb Williams. Justin Fields, Mike Glennon, Mitch Trubisky. I want to show the positive.
EJ, you're just fucking lying, man. You're just you're lying. Nobody 100%. Sat up here and said the rookie quarterback's got to come in and dominate the league, and there's not going to be any struggles. Go.
That is the biggest lie.
It's just EJ. You said you were going to bed 20 minutes ago. Maybe you're just overtired. Go to bed.
Especially when we recognize that the huge hurdle that you were going to have to overcome was Eberflus and Waldron going into the season. And this kid's as talented as there's ever been. And anybody worth their grain of salt would see it. If Mike Greenberg, of all people, Greeny, sees it and recognizes the negligence that the Chicago Bears have done and emphasizes that this kid is much in another world than Mitch Trubisky and another universe than Justin Fields, I think you can too, because I don't kowtow to no bullshit narrative. There was no otherworldly throws, Bearlissimo, that Justin Fields had with the Bears. And I'm seeing that touchdown tonight, that pass by Caleb to Keenan Allen, that's otherworldly. That's fitting a fucking hair through a key lock. I'm surprised Keenan caught it tonight after the amount of drops he had. We're so frustrated, all of us, with this football franchise and the culture that we have the presence of mind to recognize negligence. This isn't one of those cultural things. Well, that's just how we raise him here. He's going to have to learn. No, that's not how it's going to fucking
Where
roll.
I have the problem is when you say that Caleb holds the ball too long, and sure, 100% there's been times in there. 100%. Are we going to pretend like that didn't happen with previous Chicago Bear quarterback? But I'd be willing to say this. If a previous Chicago Bear quarterback played that same game tonight, it wouldn't start off with, oh, he held the ball too long. It'd be like, come on, Keenan, you got to catch the ball. Rome, it hits you right in the fucking face mask in the end zone.
Hit him right in the face, Shane.
Exactly what would happen. So you're having it both ways.
We don't have it both ways. I
have zero fucking patience for lazy narrative saying that we don't hold Caleb accountable. It's a bold-faced fucking lie. Our patrons will tell you that. We never said that he's going to be better than anything and never going to struggle. You're a bold-faced liar if you're saying that. Plain and simple. Those words were never said here at any point on TTNL ever. I saw your tweets, EJ, to TTNL Network, because you did it because you got called out. Phil called you a night crawler when you showed up after the New England game because we hadn't seen you in weeks. And we hadn't seen you since that game. But guess what? You're back tonight, right? That's what it is, man. I'm frustrated, like you're frustrated, like Phil is, like everybody in the chat. But don't fucking lie, dude. Don't lie.
The last problem I'm worried about, aside from EJ, is Caleb Williams on this football team. It's very clear to me he is the solution to the problem. There's so many other problems there. And I went into it in my rant. And if it has to be redundant to the problem, I told Shane, I don't care. We will continue to speak the truth no matter how exhausting it is. If you want a fucking lie, go watch Swift and these guys. They'll flip-flop for you. You'll get exactly what you want to hear. That's exactly what I was thinking too. But you want the truth? Like, that's where I'm going to be. Truthfully sitting next to my brother right here each and every day. And if I disagree, guess who I call out? Him. Because it's the same thing I'm doing to EJ and Shane is that we would do to each other. And those guys that are so fucking soft, aside, I'm not talking about EJ, just talking about all those other guys. I'm actually using their names. There you go. A certain guy, a certain network, a certain podcast, okay, bro. Yeah, I get people screenshot and send it to me. They send it to me. They know exactly what you're talking about.
Did Caleb play great tonight? No, he didn't. That's a fact. But how you watch the game tonight and show up into like a show or on Twitter or just anywhere in general, and your main concern is Caleb Williams with what we've witnessed this entire season, is laughable to me. Laughable.
Say it again,
So
because
that to me tells me that you already have, and I'm not, this is not to you specifically, EJ. I'm talking about people in general. If you come away from tonight pissed off at Caleb Williams and thinking that he's an issue and your mind's made up, let's just call a spade a spade. Just be honest about it.
100%. I
It's
agree with
facts.
you. Listen, if you say goodnight and you're going to bed, just go to bed. Holster your tweeter and your typewriter and go. That's the best thing for anybody to do, because you know what the reality is? Football is a team game. Unfortunately, when you have people that just want a clear equation, they become blog boys or night crawlers, or they have some sort of agenda in their pocket that they want to attach it to. For me, I'm looking at the whole big picture, a season, what has transpired within it. Let me ask you this. Does Jaden Daniels have to deal with this? And I'm not even talking about the personnel in front of him, blocking for him, or the running backs he has. What I wouldn't give for Robinson in our backfield. That's a whole different story. Is he having to deal with the cultural issues? The GM and the head coach. The GM wanting to fire the head coach. The backstabbing. The players yelling and swearing at the coach. Backstabbing one another. Pointing the fingers at each other. Is he having to deal with that there? No. Is he having to deal with the lack of offensive talent or having a rookie fucking left tackle or a soft-ass left? We could go down and down, and he's overcoming it. You should be sitting there like, holy shit, this kid's standing in there.
But Phil, it goes
like a
beyond
Billy
that.
Badass.
It goes beyond that. And listen, I would not have drafted. I'm on record as saying I would not have drafted Karan Amagaji in the third round. That was just me. But Ryan Poles drafted him. But for people to come out, yeah, he had a rough game. But people have his career set in stone now. And it goes back to what I said in the beginning of the year. With 99% of the Chicago Bears fan base, you're either amazing or you suck. When 99% of the players fall someplace in the middle of that equation. That's another fact. Does Karan have a long way to go? Yes, he does. Was he good tonight? No, he wasn't. Was Caleb good tonight? No, he wasn't. Has his story been written? No.
No.
It hasn't. But don't tell, did Keenan Allen play well tonight? No, he didn't. Did Darnell Wright
5
top
drops?
10 pick?
No, that's not okay.
There's
Darnell
a lot of
Wright,
shit
did he
going around.
play good? Did the center play good, Shane?
There was a point where I thought that Shelton actually, I'm not saying tonight, I'm talking about earlier in the year. I'm like, maybe we can just buy some time with him. But I mean, it's just, you're in full blown yikes territory now. I mean,
I want to say this in context to it, because I know Ivan does a lot of cutting of the tape and then we break it down and you guys see it. But context is key. If you want to take a screenshot and tell a story, I can tell 50 of them with a screenshot, but with the tape, you can't. It's just there. But unfortunately, you have a lot of people with an agenda, so they want to make the tape say something it doesn't. So they're going to cut out the plays where things are. We don't do that here. In fact, Ivan will cut it and send it, and then that'll be that. and I'll just show you it 100%. So the point I'm getting at is that when you put everything into context and you're a rookie quarterback with a cultural issue that you're trying to rise them out of, it's like someone drowning and you're the swimmer swimming out to them. They'll fucking take you under. That's what the Bears organization is doing. If you think the opposite of that, based on everything you've seen, then you are the problem because you're not seeing it for what it is. We're talking about George McCaskey, Kevin Warren, Ryan Poles. Ryan Poles has so many whiffs. So many. And the article that Wiederer puts out, and we're trying to get Dan on, he's saying that Eberflus was completely hired by Poles. Poles wanted to keep Eberflus one more year. We were told this. We see the end result. So that's 2 huge strikeouts with everything on the line. It's the most important of it all.
Right. And just let me going through the comments. So Windy City, Larry Borum was not anointed as the best offensive lineman by TTNL. There's lots of people here. Coach O said that he was his favorite offensive lineman after the draft of the guys that he watched. That's what was said. So Coach O doesn't speak for me. He doesn't speak for Phil. He doesn't speak for Ivan. That's fine. Do I still respect what Coach O does and the work that he puts into it? 100%. But this is things that if I say something,
trying to take a shot.
There's plenty of things he's been right on. There's like Shane said,
but
there's multiple.
It's important to put it into perspective, talent-wise.
But if Phil says something, it doesn't mean that TTNL said it. It means that Phil said it.
Phil said it, and Phil owns it.
If I say it, it's me. It's not Ivan. That's the thing. That's the blanket shit is what drives me crazy, because we do speak names here, and that's why people don't like it. That's why people don't like us. But the difference is people try to fall in line and say, oh, TTNL said that Mac Jones was the best quarterback in the draft, when that was never said. Nobody said that. Bill had him higher than I did. That's fine. Everybody's
Trevor Lawrence was my number one pick. And you know what? Mac Jones is better than Justin Fields.
I had Deshaun Kaiser.
Mac Jones is better than Justin Fields. So, again, I was right there too. And you know what? He would have fit what Nagy was trying to do better than Justin Fields. And that's the eyes of which you're trying to draft based on your philosophy of what you're doing. If you guys disagree with that, that's on you. He's a backup playing the role of fucking Tim Tebow. Coming in short down and distance. Let's run the Wildcat and let him try to get a first down. He cannot make throws like Caleb Williams can. That it's over. It's over. But again, great point by you, Shane, because that's another manipulation. I liked Mac Jones number 2. My number 1 was Trevor Lawrence. What the fuck's he doing? I know he's in the concussion protocol. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. You're going to miss on these things. But I've never gone out and said anything like that. I will tell you, Caleb is the best I've ever scouted. And that's the truth. He's trying to overcome a negligent run organization.
I think I got a couple bruises and contusions. I think I got to do. I think I got to do a better job.
Bruises and contusions, Ivan.
Hydrating and recovering throughout the week. To try and flush out, some of these bruises.
You could have drank a 5-gallon bucket tonight.
That I have.
A couple of those. Just throw the fucking ball away.
get in the weight room, to be able to keep, my muscles and everything.
You got fucking
Where they need to be
mollywopped on
for
that one.
these last.
Oh my
I'm
god!
just gonna say, I'll say this.
I put his helmet right in
being
his
able to,
chest, Ivan.
stand strong and
he was smoked.
good and
Got
healthy.
smoked. I'll say that.
In these last couple games, as I did in the first half of the season.
We got to get him a speech coach. Tired of the yums.
No, he's got the
sacks and hits you're taking, maybe taking a toll on you, not just physically but mentally as well.
I wouldn't say mentally. Obviously, physically, let's put it in this context. Is say you're getting three car accidents, and
every week,
you're gonna feel it, and
never gonna
that's
change.
What a hit is in football. Is if y'all didn't know, a football, and getting hit, especially when you can't deliver a hit to somebody, as in like running the ball. You take those over amount of time, and it builds.
I wonder if Dunze's dad will talk about the drop he had in the fucking end zone.
Working out,
right in his hands.
That,
Will he talk about that, Ivan?
He
needs to fucking stop.
Throughout the whole year.
And just go away. Just go away.
Just shut up. Watch the game. Stop.
Where you guys are out of the playoffs, you're 4-10. The offense just scored
It's
12
year
points.
fucking
I'm sure
one
none of this is what you
his son.
expected.
It's
how do you
like you're
where you're
50, 60, 70 for some of us fucking Bears fans.
Where to
so
go
chill
from here
the fuck
is,
out, Rome's dad.
Game.
Just
coming
chill.
up in a few days.
Oh my God, he needs to chill.
Gotta go.
I just want to see if you'll
get better.
tweet. Rome, you should have caught that shit.
Today.
That's what a real dad. If you're gonna do it the other way, you better do it that way too.
They played a little bit more coverage and zone. They dropped out and did a couple interesting things on defense.
On one hand, you can't be out there.
It's something that
and I'm a big Flores guy.
And once I see it,
he's in my top 3 to be the head coach.
Figured it out a little bit.
You can't be praising Flores being the best fucking defensive coordinator or top 3 in the NFL, and then
when it happens again, and
just completely pass over the fact that your rookie quarterback
because it
taking a beating.
They ended up
having the shittiest play calls
exotic looks they brought
since Wall. I just don't understand some of these.
Just being
able and he's still out there gutting it through
myself and the team, and then
the fucking craziest thing is he gets face masked, escapes 2 whiff blocks, gets face masked, is about to throw a touchdown dime to Odunze, and Keenan Allen comes in front of it, drops it in his hands. It would have been a touchdown there.
I would say the frustrating part is obviously we're on a how many games now? 8? Yeah, 8-game losing streak, and that's not
bro.
Like I've said before,
my dad said out of all of those linemen that we analyzed that season,
that's the
we
frustrating
looked at all the
part.
tackles. He came away very impressed with Larry Borum because of his feet.
The encouraging
what has Larry Borum done since he got into the
and
NFL? Has he worked his body and his craft?
Go through.
No, he's got sloppy,
me not playing well,
heavy,
season,
and he's not focused on the game. He's not gotten stronger.
Well, and then
so
been able to find ways to
put it in perspective, bro.
Through those times that
at some point you have to improve your game.
Coaches getting fired and
sad.
All of this stuff that's going on 4-10 right now. So being able to wake up, be consistent, do that every day. With
when you have different owners,
is encouraging.
You
for
create
me.
a different culture. Culture embraces the player with the understanding that winning is the most important thing. Then you can change the culture. The Chicago Bears have not shown that winning is the most important thing. It's just obvious.
Yeah, obviously it's a quick turnaround.
We all can laugh now at looking back on history, but it's the truth.
Get in there, watch the film.
This is the organization that hired freshmen over Aryans.
The team can be better. Coaches, everybody. And then from there, obviously we gotta get going on this game plan for Detroit. I believe is in a few days, and so being able to correct and then move on very fast is something that we have to do right here, right now. And so I think that's the next step.
The amount of times you've been kind of under pressure this season, regardless of if it's the line or play or what have you, how much has that hindered you or kept you from getting that rhythm you talked about this week, that just wanting to get in a rhythm? How difficult is that when you've been pressured as much as you have?
Yeah, obviously that's the defensive coaches and players' job is to not allow offenses and QBs and running backs, wide receivers, everybody get in the rhythm. And so we just got to find ways to be efficient in the first half, find ways to keep the ball moving, find ways to simply put points on the board. It's tough when the other team's scoring in the first half and you're not scoring, and you got to come out in the second half and have these comeback games. And
there's your answer by Angel.
To hold them to where they're at, and you got to go now score. So just playing efficient football. Us all of us respecting the game, and what it takes to win. And so
they didn't get mollywopped. I'll say that they didn't go out and just fucking roll on their, show their belly and was like, "Here, take us." It was they sucked, but they didn't fucking go ahead and cave like they did last week. I'll say that.
Yeah, it's frustrating because we practice so much, and I don't know if we reported. Is what we call it, report to the ref while we were running on the field or not. But the ref didn't see it. I believe right in that moment I heard him say that he reported, and when he was on the field, and ref didn't see it. And so having self-inflicted wounds right there on that touchdown, and then we get back up, we score again, and have another self-inflicted wound. It's challenging because scoring in this league is tough. Winning games is tough, and you got to score to be able to win. And so taking those points off the board, I think it was obviously I think it obviously hurt us in that moment because that was such a big moment for us, and we end up having to settle. So we got to get better. We got to
love this kid. I don't know how you can't. And I want to say this because I saw Scottish Bear debating Bearlissimo in the chat. Any person that decides let's pass on a superior talent at the most important position in football because our coaching staff and our culture sucks
the first
is
quarter,
why you suck. How do you change that?
I think he got me a few
This
times.
is the guy that can do that. Because he's so good, and everybody that's worth anything in football sees it. And every person that I know, if you put a gun to their head to redraft, who would you take? Everybody's taking Caleb Williams over all of them. That's why you do that, because he's going to create change,
which every coach will,
and force
he's one of those coaches
the
that,
Bears, hopefully, to do the right thing. They
and,
did something they've never done in 100 fucking years, and fire a head coach in season. It wasn't because Tremaine Edmonds sucks. It wasn't because the O-line sucked. It's because you can't fuck this kid up. That's why he's gone.
That he had today.
You want truth? That's what happens.
But other than that,
once you have a higher standard, you set,
figured it out.
You get to a better point in football.
What, those two wrinkles.
That's
were,
what TTNL stands for. We're not going to fucking play a narrative pile-on game, flip-flop with the fucking Tides. Season sucks. Was Caleb good tonight? No, he's got to be better. He certainly wasn't the biggest problem out there.
First quarter, and
in fact, I hold him in such high regard for standing up in there and recognizing the person and the toughness that he has.
Oh, George is actually in here.
Like that.
I don't give a fuck if he is or not.
I didn't know what was going on.
No, I saw him in the YouTube comments a couple weeks ago. Keep my name out your mouth. No.
Field is posted upstairs. Is there a correlation?
Called your boy Sierra out tonight too.
Let's stop throwing
out there. I couldn't tell you if it was a correlation or anything, but
please.
I think he's calling the game the same way.
I don't have time.
I think
he could come on and debate
as he would then.
too.
I think I think he's still
pathetic.
getting the plays in fast. I think he's still calling the same plays that he would have called, or calling it the same way. I think we just got to go out there and execute. I think we, there's a few times where even myself didn't execute. Whether it was emotion, whether it was the timing of the play. I know I had 2 today where I kind of messed up the timing of the play.
Last time I checked,
which is frustrating. But I think we just got to go out there and execute.
Players have to rise up for a rookie.
I think
what DJ Moore has done this season is not okay. Let's just be honest.
We got to find ways to win the game and be efficient.
Your body language and your sulky effort is a problem that a real head coach addresses and changes immediately without caring about the fucking contract that you signed. Go ahead, buddy. I'm sorry.
Sorry, Phil. Sorry. It's just something that I just can do without. Caleb Williams, stop with the Bears after every fucking press conference. Look,
it's his ode to Russell Wilson.
Look, that's whatever the fuck it is. I don't give a fuck because it's cheesy. You seem like it just seems forced at this point because we're not fucking winning. That's a catchphrase you have when you're
well. He's trying to change a culture, so I disagree.
I don't
keep doing what you do and try to change this. Because there were people that were saying he ain't saying it after they lose. I saw it, but he kept it going, and I don't like it. Keep going.
I don't like it regardless. It's just
I'm fine with
it. It's getting tired to me.
It's better than the fucking club dub, Ivan.
I don't give a fuck about club dub. I just I don't care about any gimmicky shit.
If you decided to do it,
gimmicky shit.
Dedicate it the whole season. Keep doing it.
Win fucking football games. Go ahead and fucking do all the type of sayings you fucking want.
It's not like he's not trying, Ivan. If he wasn't, I would say I'm okay with what you're saying.
Caleb Williams. It's the dancing and the fucking. It's everybody. It's a team, Phil. It's period. This team.
Well, I agree with that part. I don't agree with that. I keep doing it. He did it. Because you're going to get the night crawlers. Yeah, you don't do that when they fucking live. I don't want to hear that. I would tell my guy, all right, you started it, finish it. We'll readdress after the season. I'm not saying you're wrong, but don't stop now. You feel me? Because then it becomes another thing.
Yeah, I think that
dancing and being assholes is not the same. And it's way worse.
I think it's way worse. Yeah, I do.
100%. Fucking Shane and I agree with Logan, Ivan. It's fucking mark it down.
All right, fuck that. Dance away. Dance every fucking down.
I get what you're saying, Ivan, but I don't think it's necessary because we're so far. It's like you're pissed off right now, Ivan.
Oh, it's not about being pissed. It's just corny. It's corny when you fucking lose and you're like, the Bears, stupid fuck. You just lost. I'm sorry. It's sad. It's fucking
I'm more upset with what Wolves.
Shit. I'm sorry.
Shotgun, short yardage shit.
He has all the fucking talent in the fucking world to be the greatest quarterback. It's corny. The Bears, get the fuck out of here. We're losing games.
I'm fine with it.
Bears,
just don't do it. Maybe don't do it next year.
Please don't do it next year.
We're talking. We're missed tackles galore. Tremaine Edmonds, awful. Awful. There's no way around it. Scheme, awful. I don't know how you line your linebacker 6 to 7 yards off the ball and think that you're going to be able to stop the run.
It's not even just the line. Fill the fucking corners.
The corners are 11 and 13 yards off the ball. This reeks of softness or scare. I don't know. They want to just get out of the season.
I was tweeting you I was texting
3rd and
you.
what? 17.
Yeah, and it was essentially a dump off.
Dude, walk. It looked like high school 7-on-7. Just walk to the first down marker. Thank you very much. Next 3 downs. It's pathetic. It is absolutely pathetic. We're gonna get to our super chats.
I want Ivan to read this guy's name.
Go ahead, Ivan. Read this.
Pontruvius Sweezy.
There you go. That's what
$4.99
after every game. Go Pontruvius.
Go Pontruvius. Lost by 32. Go Bears. Fuck out of here, dude. I'm done with that shit.
He's gonna change the culture.
I hope he does. But
He's
stop.
trying to.
Stop. It's goofy.
Read
You're losing.
Read the super chat.
All right. I said Pontruvius.
I know Puss Flus. Go ahead. Go ahead, Ivan.
Let Ivan read.
Okay. I know Puss Flus was a putrid. I think he's saying Dick. And
Rick. No,
Rick
he's saying Rick because I called him Rick.
Okay, he's a putrid Rick
from The Walking Dead.
Okay. But we need to get George Puskaski to sell. To see he went with the fucking caps. And I was like, oh, is he talking about T.O.?
He's yelling.
To sell today. Gorge
George.
Michael.
That's a solid way to spell George.
That's a Gorge Michael. That's a Gorge Michael could run this.
George Michael. Now you gotta have faith, the faith. Ooh, gotta have faith.
Too bad he's dead. But
I wish he wasn't dead.
Swanky 32.
Where did he go?
I feel as though George was representing blood with that red jacket on. Yeah, I did see that picture.
Did you see George McCaskey's fucking picture over there?
You noticed no Bears gear.
George McCaskey, you pussy troll bitch. That's what I call
and Hooper $4.99. Bears are so undisciplined on all sides. Caleb is so not the problem. Polls look like he's already out the door. Shake my head. Bear down.
I believe he's got to be fired. It's got to be a complete change, man.
I agree.
Whole energy.
I think you can make a blanket statement for TTNL on that. I think we're all in agreement there. That's the right thing to do.
Are you with us, Ivan?
Yes.
Yeah.
Fire polls, right?
Our guy Mo $1.99. Do you guys have any sweet Ohio State prospects for the draft coming up? Please let me know. Thank you, Mo.
All right,
Toby Hill.
Mo.
$2. The ineptitude is legendary throughout.
Toby Hill.
It's not even legendary when you think about it. It's just we are numb to it. How many times have we said that you can't get any lower? And George brings out the shovels. It's like, fuck it, let's dig. We can go lower. They figure out a way.
I thought Matt Nagy was the lowest we could go, and then they hired Eberflus.
Kevin Carlson, $9.99. Phil always keeps it 100, and everyone in the chat knows it. My only fear with Caleb is that he will demand a trade at some point, which would suck.
Well, that's why I don't think you're going to get that. That's what we're doing here.
Well, you're a long ways from that, but
exactly. GRH bond, Gerbon.
Yep,
$5.
Let's just call him George. $5. Bigger issue aside, I have concerns that Caleb doesn't run when it seems like he has a clear 10 yards in front of him. Just take it and reset. Well, that is a fine line because he's the guy that's going to maintain in the pocket, and you saw he could have ran on the one with Keenan tonight.
I agree with George. I would just say the bigger criticism is throw the ball away quicker.
Yeah, I was screaming to him you saw Sam Darnold tonight put it into his left hand and just throw it out of bounds.
Correct. Put it in both hands and just spike the ball.
Right. That one where he got mollywopped and he threw it back across the field to Keenan.
Right.
And like a jump ball where Keenan jumped about 4 seconds too early.
Oh my God.
I was like, dude, just throw it. And then he got fucking hammered.
God, Komet is such a pussy, guys. I'm sorry.
Dalton Spain, $4.99. Saw George's face.
He's
He
pissed
looked
off.
mad when welcomed fans and how we feel after this pathetic performance. These guys ready for the season to be over already. Yeah, you're
Dalton, my guy. It's
not hard wrong to get excited for the games beyond wanting the quarterback to do well. You know, we talked about it heading in to San Francisco with Thomas Brown. You were excited to see how that was going to that went sour very, very quickly. But
how's
Chris
Jenny
Harrison,
feeling, George?
do you guys think Caleb tries to play hero ball a little too often? He's slowly getting to the NFL record for most consecutive passes without an interception. I don't
see the hero ball.
The thing is that people see him trying to escape, and they see all the maneuvering and then for nothing, right? Because nothing ever, like, for the majority of the time, nothing really comes of his scrambling. Sometimes there's huge plays. A lot of the times this year, and I'm just saying this year, there hasn't been. So it's like, oh, well, we're going to just put it under that category. I think you have to go ahead and give Caleb you have to give him some time. I'm not like,
sure,
for me, I'm not going ahead and say, hey, Caleb's a bust at all. Caleb's going to be the real deal if he could get rid of the Bears slogan. But other than that, like, I mean, believe in this kid. As long as you get good coaching around him, things will start to come together.
I was given the opportunity. I found him.
God, fucking piece of shit.
John S., $5. How is it that the Vikings GM is able to pick up O linemen during the season, but we sit on our hands? Well, he made the trade for Cam Robinson on that, but this is my biggest fault with polls so far. And Phil, you and I talked about this where I was screaming for that. And hey, let's give a shout out to our defensive lineman that they brought in, Jonathan Brown.
Right. You've been asking for a big D tackle. They finally went out and did it. He looked Ford. You mean Ford?
Or Ford, yeah. I was thinking head coach Ford.
He looked tremendous, like a keeper, as Brian Cox said in the text. 100%.
This is the thing.
Full effort out there.
I haven't seen enough turnover with the offensive line or offensive lineman brought in. Hey, everybody knows that Roshan was a power, but bring in a power back. And that's not 100%. Me taking a shot at Darrington Evans. I would prefer Darrington Evans over Travis Homer as my third running back.
Every day.
You see him getting legitimate third down snaps. Bring in a power back for the goal line situations.
DeAndre Swift is a big miss, guys.
And
he's not a fucking
he's got to be a running back that is played in tandem like they do in Detroit. He's got to have his demo.
Right. He's not the lead dog back. He just isn't. The fact that DJ Moore is more instinctive and physical as a running back than the running back that you signed is an indictment. It was the thing I said to Shane that I was concerned with him about, that he isn't tough enough in between the tackles. Can't be the lead dog and not have that. He's a third down space guy, big play, draw here, bring good hands out of the backfield. He is not the workhorse that you need. And you're 100% right. These are the issues you have with Poles. Terrible offensive line, hasn't gotten a pass rusher. When you do have a semblance of a pass rush, you don't even use them. You saw tonight, Walker does a good job inside. That's where he should be playing.
Right.
You got to have an edge. We've been saying
that. You want to call out TTNL? Call him out for that. Yeah. We said it from day one.
Can I ask you guys the lack of, and I asked Steve this earlier. I don't know if you were on, Shane. how much of it is arrogance with Ryan Poles with how this offensive line has been put together? Is it him thinking that, oh, I was an offensive lineman, I could go find fucking guys
I think
in the 4th, 5th round? Like is there some arrogance to that?
I think it's beyond that. Because I think you can go lower. And I talked about this, I believe, on BHL. I think he sees guys like Ryan Bates, like Matt Pryor, that are, journeyman, lower level UDFA type guys. And that's who he was. That's who Ian Cunningham was. That's who they look to. Oh, I see something in this guy. I'm going to unearth this guy, and he's going to be somebody that's here, for the next 5 to 7 years. And it's just rare. It's rare. You can't build your team that way.
He's whiffed in free agency. He had an opportunity to go out there, sign badass offensive lineman, and didn't. Would Orlando Brown look good here? I'm old enough to remember Greg Gabriel telling me he's not a left tackle. He looks like a fucking pretty good left tackle in Cincinnati. I'm just saying, you could have went out there, signed your left tackle. You could have had Tevin Jenkins at left tackle. I will go to my deathbed knowing the Bears had an opportunity to have a Hall of Fame left tackle in Kyle Long and never did it. And here they are doing it again. You have a talent he's talented as a guy. He'd be great. You're telling me he's not better than these guys? Come on. It's pathetic. Chris Morgan, pathetic. It's just.
You want to take this one, Evan?
Ivan's muted.
Oh, he's not Joe Montana.
The Bears is corny. That's what he said.
Clintonio, $1.99. Can we please get a new running back this offseason?
What I said was the Bears is corny after every game when you're fucking losing.
Yeah.
That's corny.
He's definitely picked that up from Russell Wilson.
100%.
Definitely. Because was it?
Let's ride right into the fucking dirt.
Yeah, what was it? It was Go Hawks.
We'll keep saying it, Eric, because that's what I believe. You could keep watching the patheticness out there. And this is John S. $2. Who's coaching Caleb to be better? That's the thing. EJ dropped the ball, and many of these night crawlers that come out here don't even understand the foundation just in the culture isn't there, let alone the coaching. When Thomas Brown comes out and says, I haven't really talked to him, he's a fucking passing game coordinator. You could see the issues in coaching are there. It's just sad to me how pathetic Chicago Bears fans that are so one-sided. They want failure for their whatever love of Justin Fields they had. You were never a Bears fan. He's in Pittsburgh. Go cheer for the Steelers. That's your rationale. You obviously, the one thing Poles did, he understood. Got to get better at quarterback.
So I think Herbert got overrated here. He's done, and Guy is right. He's done I think 12 for 38 or something like that. And, on the season. He's done nothing in Cincy, so he was going to be a free agent. You weren't going to re-sign him, and I understand it. You can use him up here, whatever, but I do have a problem with the Blazing game because you replaced Blazing game with Doug Kramer.
I have a problem with it too.
In Blazing game,
sorry, Guy. Blazing game plays the position of fullback
that you clearly need.
That you are using
in your
short need. If anything, Mr. Swift needs is a fullback to better himself. Because I'll tell you what, Cole Kmet ain't it. Your tight end room has to be rebuilt. Cole would be a piece of it, but he has regressed.
Well,
I mean, he's in the top 5 of soft.
I think you
terrible
have to kind
play.
of and I agree, he's been horrible, but I think you have to
Blocking
look picture
inside.
when you see that Keenan Allen has regressed, and when you see that DJ Moore has regressed, and when you see that Cole Kmet has regressed, and when you signed Gerald Everett and expected him to do at least something, and that's not there. And I understand you want to hold the player accountable, but at some point when we're looking on tape and the scheme has 3 wide receivers within a 5-yard area, scheme is a big part of that. And when everything is discombobulated and these players say that they don't believe in Shane Waldron in fucking OTAs, I'm not defending the player. I'm just saying Cole Kmet's not going to go. He's not going anywhere. So you're right there. They do need to redo the tight end room. Mercedes Lewis can't be on the he shouldn't be on the roster right now.
100%.
Shouldn't be.
Either should Gerald Everett.
I don't give a shit if Braxton Jones can play next week. Amagaji should be getting the reps next week.
But didn't you guys know that the Bears run a monastery and a charity club? Did you guys not know that? Like, you guys got to be fucking saints and fucking charity workers in order to get on this Chicago Bears football team. That's how hard it is to get on this team. You better be a fucking charity worker to get on. I hate how this team is run. I hate how it's operated, and I'm tired of it. I'm sick and tired.
I'm with you, man. The big problem is the man in red, George McCaskey. If you think that you're just a fan and not a football evaluator, but yet your values stem into who you're signing and the past history of mistakes where some players selling cocaine and fucking marijuana and this guy coming up and threatening people, that's football, bro. You're gonna have some fucking non-choir boys in situations that arise. That can't fail you and make you fear a player that might be a little bit against the fucking grain when it comes to his personality. You're going to have to you can't win with choir boys. And I'm sorry, it's pathetic. The culture, the McCaskies have been a problem. After reading that article, and I hope we can get that author on the show about Virginia and Joe and the McCaskey family and what they did to the Hallises and all this stuff. It's pathetic. These people are exactly who I thought they were.
Oh, do we get confirmation on all that?
Well, I want to bring the guy who wrote it. Yeah. If we could reach out to him and talk with him. But
I have not gotten anything back. And on the part that you're talking about, Ivan, I've gotten nothing on that either.
No, but obviously those articles are full blown situations that, I mean, just think, you can already see the bridge. And I know a lot of people don't know what we're talking about, but I could see the aunt in a position of power saying, fuck those other kids on the other side. We're going to play this game and we're going to, it's happened many a time. It won't be the last time. But again, portray her as some angelic person, and you see exactly the energy of this fucking team and where it's gone because you have people that do shitty shit like that. It goes hand in hand. Karma comes up, will smack a bitch. And for me, Ryan Poles has to go. You're not getting rid of the McCaskies.
I totally agree there. Ivan, where is your confidence that they will fire him?
Hiring.
I'll say this.
Poles.
If the stipulation for any of these top coaches is that Ryan Poles is gone, then Ryan Poles has to go.
But beyond that, where do you think they are with?
If you were to guess,
if I were to guess, I would say that they're gonna coddle fucking Ryan Poles and treat him like
I agree.
some type
I
of
mean,
special for you fucked up, but you could be a young face of the league as an executive type of bullshit.
I agree with Guy.
Yeah,
That's my, and I have it.
He's got it at 10. I got it at 70%.
That they're firing him.
I think they're gonna fire him, man. I really do.
Really? Oh, well,
I really do.
I'm a little less. I'm about, I would say 55%.
My number was going to be 3.
3?
So I'm in the 70%.
Yeah.
Shane's in 3, so that's not even gonna happen. And you're middle. We'll call you middle.
Somewhere in the middle.
I wonder, is Big Steve still in the chat? I wonder where he's at with this. Where's Cars at with it?
Yeah,
he's 50 or no? He's no way they firing him.
Cars, no, he's totally fine with him being launched into the stratosphere.
But does he think that they're?
I don't think fire him. I don't think he believes that they are going to fire him, but he would be much happier if they did, because you get the GM and the head coach.
Get them together. What if do you think Vrabel wants Ryan sitting in front of Ryan? Who the fuck is Ryan Poles to him? You know what I'm saying? Like, we aren't working hand in hand here. If you're that
they did cross over in Kansas City. Ryan Poles' first year was 2009 when he got traded to Kansas City.
I don't know if they even talked. You know what I'm saying?
I'm sure they were there for 2 years. I mean, he was there in 9 and 10 because he got traded with Matt Castle.
Listen, I think he's got to go, and a new coach with a new GM. Just fire him, hire the GM, and then get the coach. Because if your mission, we got to get an offensive guy in here, and you're doing it wrong.
Right.
Got to get the best head coach in here. Everything else will work itself. Don't get nervous because Lovey hired Terry Shea and Mike Martz and Mike Tice, and Lovey couldn't get it right. Like I said, there's plenty of high school coaches in Illinois alone that are better than Shane Waldron, who the GM signed off on 100%. So for the next show, for keeping it 100, we can go look at Ryan Poles' drafts. Look at Ryan Poles' hirings. You deserve to be fired. That's it. And
we don't have to go over it. I believe he deserves to be fired. But the whole question, and I'm not saying that you're denying. I'm just saying the whole feeling is that the Bears will fuck this up again, Phil. You know it. I know it. Shane knows it.
Again,
and everybody
I agree.
Knows it.
Has Poles not been far better than Emery? He's better than Phil Emery, 100%.
Yeah.
But I mean,
better than Emery. But Emery also chose Mark Trestman.
Right.
So now they're almost even.
But I mean, under pace, at least you had the one season in 2018. You made the playoffs in 2020 when the playoffs were expanded, but he didn't figure out the quarterback was the big thing. And I still maintain, you're at 3 and you had so much of a separator between Mitch and Patrick Mahomes that you gave up assets to move up one spot. And then so that was obviously wrong. We know that now.
I think Pace is the worst out of the 3. If you had to rank them, I'd put Pace at the bottom.
Worse than Emery? That brought in Trestman?
No, Emery.
He brought in Nagy.
Emery fucked everything. Emery fucked.
I would have.
Emery fucking traded for Cutler. That was a good move.
No, Emery didn't trade for Cutler. Angelo did.
It wasn't Emery?
Emery's the one that broke up the Lovey.
Bill Emery's the one that gave him the fucking 7-year contract extension.
Oh, yeah. Scratch what I said, EJ.
Yeah, he broke up the Levy regime, wanted to trade Urlacher, wanted to break up
He's definitely worse.
Wanted to break up that whole locker room.
Jared Allen, don't you remember that when he pulled
Jared
him?
Allen in his wheelchair. Jared Allen.
Yeah, none of them are.
Well, they all
none
suck.
of them are good.
It's a very close race. It's Jerry Seinfeld type of race.
Yeah.
If you watch that episode.
I love that fucking episode.
Who got the head start there?
Yes, Mr. Belvalagua. Whatever
Oh, man. Sad day. I know you Bears fans deserve better.
Well,
we kept it going for an hour and 30.
Yeah, so we'll wrap it up. But Scottish Bears, said that the Bears will target Ben Johnson. He'll run away from the front office, and Joe Brady will get the job. And listen, Trace Armstrong is Joe Brady's agent, just so everybody knows. And if I was a betting man, I would bet that the Bears are going to go to the fucking wall for Ben Johnson. That's just what I think that they're going to
do with Trace.
That's just what I think that they're going to do. Not saying that I agree with
it. Ben Johnson came out and made that statement. It was like he's directly talking.
Exactly. Who else is he
setting
talking
the
to?
stage? Exactly.
If you're Ben Johnson and you want to
100%.
go, you want to go coach a team this year.
Yep.
It's the Bears because of Caleb Williams. Where's it? I mean, are you going? Are you going to Vegas? Are you going to the Giants? Are you going to the Jets?
Does Ben Johnson swear?
Fucking hope so.
I still can't. I'm watching AFC North Hard Knocks, and it's like, oh my God. Like
a different world.
Bears are like the fucking Munchkin land.
Yeah.
And the fucking the Wizard of Oz is everywhere else, for God's sake.
Yeah. It's like you porn versus Sesame Street.
100%. Exactly. That's the better analogy. Fucking Sesame Street over here.
Yeah,
you got Oscar the fucking Grouch.
Yeah.
You got the fucking.
I'm serious though. That
monster.
It's funny, but it's fucking true. That's the bad thing.
Oh my God, George,
Sesame
get
Street
the fuck back, you Sesame Street fucking cornball fuck.
Just think that Alan Bratcher is home watching BHL in his Khalil Herbert Cincinnati Bengals jersey, fighting for a playoff spot. All right.
I honestly think Vrabel is there's 4 guys that I think can withstand their personality versus a culture that has been, what should we call it? Fucking Sesame Street for the last 12, 15 years. That's the hire. Ben Johnson isn't one of those guys on my list. Sorry, I don't know Ben enough to tell you that he could be. He might be.
That's the thing, and I will repeat myself, Phil. I told you this on the phone today. I said it with Ivan and Big Steve in the pregame show. My fear is with Ben Johnson that he understands offense and quarterbacks, the X's with the O's. That's not an issue. You don't know how he is going to be in front of the 53 and in front of a 90-man roster that you get in the offseason. Mike Vrabel, you're not worried about that because you know how he's going to be in front of the 53. You know that he's going to be a leader and he's a no-nonsense guy. Aaron Glenn, same type of deal. They're going to get up there. They're going to be leaders. They're former players. They've been in locker rooms. That part of it is set in stone for them. Their issues are who's going to be on staff, who's going to be your offensive coordinator, who's going to be your offensive line coach. Same with Aaron Glenn, same with Mike Vrabel. My point is, if you're the Chicago Bears and you go out and you hire Ben Johnson, If he gets up in front of the team and these guys do not believe in him and he isn't good in front of the team, then you've lost before the season has even started. It could happen in OTAs because the players are going to know. They know that the ownership is inept. They've seen what's went on. And if you get a guy and he's up there
standing around at
skittish,
practice,
they're going to be like, these fucking guys. These guys hired the offensive flus. Now, I'm not trashing Ben Johnson. Maybe he gets up there and he can command the room. Maybe he's learned from Dan Campbell and learned from Aaron Glenn. That he very well could. I just don't know. But are you willing to take that gamble that he is going to be the leader, or would you rather gamble with the leader that you have to see who he brings in on his staff? That is the golden question out of all of this.
The fact that Aikman brought up Shanahan in the broadcast was interesting to me because that's been a rumor floated around. I would totally trade. Ivan would not. We've talked about this.
Oh, well.
I would trade for Shanahan because you finally get the coach right. I'll figure out offensive linemen and free agency and all the cap you have. We got to get this coach right. But that's a whole nother thing. Just keep an eye on that. I don't know if that is going to happen. Guy is sharing Cole Kmet's comment here. Quote, you've got to take care of your own shit. And if other people aren't doing their job, that's on them.
Don't agree. If you're a fucking leader, that
He's
is
not a
also
leader.
your problem.
He's not, I take
This is a problem with Kmet.
He's not a fucking leader. He's
Cole Kmet's a problem, guys.
Yeah.
He's on the ground so much. And then to come out and say that, do you want it up there again, Shane? I'm sorry, because
No. I'm just saying, it's when you're in a leadership position, when you're on the leadership committee, it is your fucking problem.
100% agree.
When you're it is. You got the extension.
You got to be right in Jalen Johnson's motherfucking face saying you're fucking part of the problem. You're supposed to be a captain. That's why you don't wear a C here. And you hold them accountable. If that creates a fucking fist fight, then oh well. Break it up. But this fucking mess that is the Chicago Bears culture.
But this
is what happens when you go soft, Shane.
When you're a captain, when you're on the leadership committee,
George McCaskey,
it's not just about doing your own shit and not worrying about what other people are doing. No, that's bullshit. And I have an even bigger fucking problem that Cole says that publicly. That takes you into the mindset of Cole Kmet. And that's fucked up.
Terrible, man. Thanks for sharing that, guy. It just goes along with what I'm saying. If I was ever hired as the Bears coach, obviously, first thing I would do is have a conversation with George and say, George, you can't be uncomfortable with the culture of Phil Atoshin.
I'm just a fan. I'm not a.
That's why you hired me. What I do down there in those rooms is set the tone and the expectation of what we're going to do on Sunday. So when you're up in that fucking booth eating your spinach and broccoli and whatever the fuck you're chewing on, you're going to be enjoying that shit. Stop.
Yeah,
Stop invading the culture of what it is you're doing.
And stop with this, guys. You cannot draft a fucking running back in the top 10.
What are we doing here?
Stop.
What line is he going to run behind?
Jeez.
What line will he run behind? Oh, is he going to run for 2,000 yards against this Swiss cheese fucking offensive line? Will he run with them? No. He's going to be fucking average.
You're not going to draft the running back first. You got to get D-line or O-line. That's where it starts. Poles has made the mistake trying to build outside in corners, receivers, not linemen and D-line. That's you're trying to trade for. He's had a lot of fucking mistakes. The trade for Chase, go down the whole fucking list. He should be gone, in my opinion.
So right now, according to Tankathon, the Chicago Bears at 4-10 are drafting number 9
still
overall. Yes.
We were 9 last week.
So it would go Vegas, Giants, New England, Jacksonville, Carolina, Tennessee, Cleveland. Those are all 2 and 3 win teams. Then 4-10, you got the Jets and Chicago.
I would ask before anything, who's the best offensive lineman in the draft, and how many top 100 offensive linemen are in the draft? Because for me, I want to I want to get the best fucking O lineman out there. If it's left tackle.
Last year, what was the most frustrating part of this past season?
Sorry. What was that? I was going to say, Ivan's voice just changed completely.
Yvonne came on.
Yvonne,
yeah. But if you're able to maximize and add more, then add more, because you obviously have a depth issue and a overall talent issue.
But this GM said
right
what he felt about this offensive line was, and I'm paraphrasing, it's going to be tough to make this team. He's a
liar.
He said that about the roster. He said this is the best depth that he's been around on the offensive
line. But he also said, the best depth he's ever been around on the offensive line. This is George McCaskey, sent to us by Bullets in 2022, talking about 2021.
And that optimism you had at this time last year, what was the most frustrating part of this past season for you?
Well, Colleen, there were a lot of frustrating parts.
It's 2 years ago.
Another lengthy losing streak. We had one in 2019, one in 2020, one in 2021. And usually those are season enders. I admired the way
we're there again.
I stuck together.
Let's talk about fingers loose.
But at some point, general manager and the head coach have to come up with a way to snap us out of a losing streak before the season is ruined.
Well,
you must have been at the top of your fucking class.
Then he fired Matt Nagy and Ryan Pace. Do you see the pattern here? George, you're hiring what you want them to be, like I said in my rant. You're hiring the yes man, the guy that makes you comfortable, instead of the guy that makes you uncomfortable. The uncomfortable person goes against what it is that you've tried to build culturally and failed for how many seasons now, Shane? Has he had it?
12.
15 or 12?
12, I believe.
12 seasons. 12 seasons you've failed. In the last 5 seasons, you've had major losing streaks, including this season. How many losses now in a row?
8.
8.
If you would have told me, the Bears haven't won a game since the last time they won was in London when we were on cloud 9. So
listen, I'll say this, and I'm with Shane. Karan Amagaji needs to start next week. It's on Mr. Thomas Brown. Situationally, you have to be aware, planning all week and prepping your tight ends and backs, that you're going to help Chip.
Chances, Martel, today, it was his first career start. This is what I'm talking about. Yeah,
it's his
he didn't
first
play good.
Career start. Did he play good? We'll watch the tape of it. But the reality of what he needs to do is different. You also need to help him out. Can't be one way. You as a coach have a job, And when I say maniacal, it means every fucking blade of grass is covered. It's fucking pro football. It's not like he hasn't played there before and knows it. You got to help.
Yeah, it's time, dude. We got
to wrap it up.
Yeah, let's
Oh,
wrap it up. We got people pounding the
5
fucking
hours.
table for a running back, and
I got to get up in
So-
5 hours.
Midnight here.
I was given the opportunity. I found him.
it's 1 a.m. here, and I got to
1
get up in
a.m.,
3
yeah.
hours.
I guess.
Jesus.
So we're out of here. Keeping it 100 Wednesday night. It's the Christmas episode.
Christmas episode.
Hey, why does it Kevin Warren have a Rudolph nose?
Well, he's not going anywhere, so we'll give him a chance. It's not a Rudolph nose. That is a Christmas ball on
Clown.
Ryan Pohl's nose.
Oh, I thought it was a clown nose.
Yeah,
All right.
but we know how it
Everybody
goes.
knows.
Very good, guys. Have a beautiful day. I know I will.